Hello, I'm Tilly Douglas, and in this video I'm going to show you how I'm making an art journal from an old book. So I've taken some pages out and glued 3 pages together to make a sturdy page, so it'll hold up to the glue and the paint that I'm going to be using. So I've left quite a few pages in, but this is what the book looked like to start with, and this is where I'm at now. So as you can see, I've taken quite a few pages out. So I've got quite a few of these books which I'm going to use and make quite a few of these art journals because I just love the size of them. So to do this, I've got a book here that's got held in by string or cotton thread. So as you can see, the thread in the center here at each signature. So I start on one of these center pages of the center of the signature, and I just start taking pages out, being careful not to break the string. And I do take quite a few pages out. Take all these little bits out that get stuck in there. And I've used these pages in my junk journals because I love the little font. I think that looks fabulous and makes a lovely background. So I shall be keeping all these and using them in my junk journals. So I've just gone along in the book and taken quite a few pages out of each signature, and then I glue the pages together, and I just use a glue stick. So glue 3 pages together up like that to keep them all level and keep them nice and flat, and that Pritt stick works really well for this. So I just go along and find each signature at the centre and pull pages out. So that's how I've got to this stage. Of this book. Now I have left some pages in the front because I think they're quite nice pages. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I haven't covered the book as yet, because I like to get started on the journal and see what sort of theme it's going to take, because I have no idea when I start, and I just like to leave it, and then as the art journal comes together, I'll decide what I want as the cover. But see, this has got a date, handwritten date of 1917, so it's quite an old note. I do like to leave those little handwritten notes in there as much as I possibly can, because it all adds to it, and I just love that sort of thing. So what I'm going to do with this one is use this napkin. So this is a beautiful napkin, so I'm going to use this today. I think it's going to work beautifully on there. So the first thing I need to do is separate the napkin. So it's a very easy way to do it. I just get a bit of glue on my finger and thumb, go to the corner and pull it apart, and it really is as simple as that, and it works really, really well every time. Just works beautifully. So that's how I separate my napkins. My first step is to give it 2 good coats of gesso. I let it dry in between coats, but I just wanted to cover up all the text because, as you will see at the end of the video, I tried it without and it just didn't work, but I will show you that at the end and what you can do about it. To separate the design from the rest of the napkin, I use a very fine paintbrush and just a little bit of water, and then just pull it apart, making sure not to tear the actual design that I want. find this to be the easiest way because I don't want straight edges on the napkin. It helps to blend it in with the rest of the page if you don't have the straight edges. And that's just worked perfectly. So I'm doing the same thing around the square edges, just to take that straight line away. Just give it a little feathered edge. If you don't want to use this method, it's perfectly fine just to tear the napkin. And I'm using matte medium to glue the napkin down to the page. I don't mind if I get a few wrinkles in there. It all adds to the texture. I'm going over the top with a soft paintbrush and giving it a good covering with that same matte medium. Any brand of matte medium is absolutely fine for this job. I just happen to be using Winsor & Newton for this one. So once it's dried, and I do give it plenty of time to dry, I just go along the edges and just trim off all the excess. The paints that I'm using are all acrylic, and I'm using the Dylusions Vanilla Custard and Island Parrot and Pebeo Chrome Green. Now I'm starting off with the Vanilla Custard because I always start with the lightest colour first, and I'm just covering the whole page with that. And here I just decided I needed to put in my pages to stop the paint transferring to any other pages. So I'm just giving it a good coat. I haven't diluted it at all, I'm just using it as it is. I'm going right up to the edge of the napkin design and just touching the edges just to start blending it in to make it all look part of the same design. Because my aim is to make it to look like it's a painting rather than a napkin on a page. So here I'm using the Island Parrot colour, which is a beautiful green from Dylusions. So I'm building up those layers because I don't want just a plain one colour background. It just looks too flat. But by building up different colours, it really brings the page to life. So just blending those colours into the edges a bit further. And this is the Pebeo Chrome Green. And this is more of the colour that is in the napkin. I do always try to bring colour into the page that is already in the napkin. So I'm just using the very edge of the brush just to give it like a fern leaf kind of look. So I haven't got a flat colour. By using the edges, you're just getting those little dotted fern leaf look. And once again, this is bringing out the napkin, so it's spreading the design on the napkin across the page and blending it into the painted look. Just bringing some down to the bottom just to give it a base so it doesn't look like it's all just floating in the air. So I'm just cleaning my brush because I'm going to go back in with the Vanilla Custard and go round the map design to just try and blend that part of the napkin into the page also. So these are just some little fussy cut flowers, and I'm just placing them where I think they need to be, and it gives another dimension to the page. These are a thicker card. These are on 160 GSM card, and I'm just going around the edges with my black Pitt pen to take the white edges off, and I'm sticking them down with the same matte medium that I used earlier. The reason I use matte medium is because you can easily draw over it when it's all dry, but do make sure it's completely dry And don't get impatient like I often do and do it before it has completely dried, because you will ruin your pens. I have ruined a few pens because I'm impatient. So I'm just giving it a good covering of the matte medium, and I have let it dry in between, and now I'm going over all the edges with my black Pitt pen. By going around all the edges, it not only defines the lines nicely, but it also starts to bring that image forward, starts to build on that 3D look. And we'll do more to that later on to actually bring it all forward. But this is the first step, going around all the edges with the black pen. Here I'm using my Faber-Castell Pitt pen in the DarkSepia. And this is the brush nib, and I'm putting it on and then blending it in with my fingers just to give it a smudge. I just want to give it some shadow. This also helps with bringing the image forward and giving it that 3D look. And then here I decided to go around the black lines again with my pen that I prefer, which is an impact pen. It's my Uni-ball gel impact pen, and I love this pen. I always have this in white, which I use later on. I should have used this pen in the first place, then I wouldn't have had to go over it twice. So this is always my first choice of pen. I just happened to have the other one on the table and was lazy. So this pen is fabulous. I'm adding the highlights with this white pen. This is the Uni-ball Signo Broad, and I use this a lot. This is always my pen of choice for doing highlights. Just trimming off the edges of those flowers so they're not hanging over the edge of the page. And then I'm going to use this Distress Oxide, which is twisted citron, just to give the edges some sort of frame. And I start off with the lighter colour and bring that further into the page to start with, and go all around the edges. And I actually use 3 colours total on the edges. So this is the second one. This is the Distressing Peeled Paint. Here I'm using liquid pearls and Dovecraft's 3D Pearl Effects to add more vibrant colours and dimension to the page. This bright blue works beautifully on the hummingbird, and I'm using the white opal liquid pearls to do dots all over the page. This gives further dimension and ties the page all in together. I just love adding the white elements to it. So here I'm just going around that little saying with my black pen and then highlighting with the white pen. So I just wanted to give you a close-up to show you the dimension that that liquid pearl gives. It just looks beautiful. But then I decided I wanted to go over the flowers with my red ProMarker, so I had to wait for the liquid pearl to dry. But I think this red really does bring those flowers out, makes them look so vibrant, and I love them. I wanted to add some words to my page, so these are some pages that I created myself, which are available for free on my website if you want to just go and download those. I printed these out on craft colour sticker paper and they work beautifully. But there wasn't quite the words that I wanted, so I went and created another page, and I will be adding more pages to this one and adding it to my website for free for you to go and download also, but it'll just take me a little while to sort those out. So do keep checking back, because I do add lots of new freebies on a regular basis, so check back and see what I have. You can find those by going to my website at craftspace-ideas.com and heading to the freebies library. I added the stickers and gave them a border, and then I went round the edge of the whole page again with Distress ink in Walnut stain, just on the edges of the page. I didn't bring that too far in because I just wanted an outline for the whole page. So that's that page finished, but now I want to show you where I messed up earlier. So I did this previously. I started the page before, but I thought it would be nice to see the text through the napkin, which sometimes it does look really nice, but with this one it just made it look all too grungy and dark, and it just didn't work for this page. It just lost the flower effect, and the bird just got lost within the text. So I started it again and I gessoed the page first because I wanted to take that darkness off. So the beauty of gesso, it just clears everything, but I can gesso over this page and use this page again, and it will just work beautifully. So that's why I gessoed the base of this page, and I think it turned out beautifully. So don't forget to go and get the freebies from our website at craftspace-ideas.com, and if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, click the like button and the little bell notification so you get notified when I bring out more videos, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.